Welcome to Flavours of the World with Viking Cruises. I'm Catherine Fulvio and I'm here in my Ballynock Cookery School in County Wicklow in Ireland. And today I'm hopping across the Irish Sea to my Celtic cousins, the Scots, because I want to show you a very special dish. Now here in Ireland, we do love and make a good smoked haddock soup. But can I just say, I think the Scottish people have nailed it with their Cullen Skink, which is a beautiful potatoey smoked haddock, herby, milky, creamy soup. I think you're gonna love it. And we all know that every good soup starts with an onion. So let's just chop up our onion. We just take the top off here. And cut it in half. I move to the bigger knife for that job. And the peel comes off. I always find the outer layer of the onions always just that little bit chewy. So you know what I do? I take it off and then I put it in the stock pot. And that way then it's not going to waste and I'm still getting the flavour out of it. Now, right, what you're going to do to dice, hold your onion like this and saw your knife in towards the root, but don't go right through the root. You see, just like that. So that holds it all together. So always cut towards the root. Hold it to the side, get your knife and go downwards like this. You see, like that. And again, don't cut through the root. And look, it's all stuck together. Now it's knuckles forward, fingertips back. We teach this all the time in the cookery school, but it is great to know how to chop an onion properly. Let me tell you, see the back of the knife is chopping here. If you can dice this onion evenly, it will cook evenly. And we want our onions cooked until they're lovely and soft and sweet. If you can cook them until they're sweet, you have a base flavour in your dish. It is well worth taking the time to get this right. And let's go with the other half. There we go. I'm going to cook the onion in a bit of butter with just a dash of oil. A little bit too much butter and the butter could burn on you, but the oil balances it out nicely. But you do need the butter for this. Remember, we're talking Celtic cuisine here. Do you know butter, potatoes, smoked haddock? These are all our beautiful ingredients. Now, little drop of oil. So I have this down to a fine art. I always make sure my butter and my oil is just warmed up nicely. And then I pop the onions in. And then when the onions start to steam, I turn the heat down and slow cook. Now, here's a few extra onions that I chopped as well. So we're looking for steam here. Now that the onions are steaming, my tip is to turn the heat down to a nice low temperature because here's the thing, we're making a white soup. We have potatoes, we have milk, and then we have our smoked haddock and our onions. We don't want dark brown flecks of onion flicking through in this soup. So you want to keep it all the one colour. So for that, make sure your heat is nice and low, and also that helps with the cooking of the onion. So we'll give that a few minutes and we'll come back and check on it. Now my onions are beautifully mellow and sweet, fantastic base for this beautiful soup. Next thing is one of my favourite ingredients, of course. Potatoes. So in go our potatoes. These are just diced. Now you have to get the dice of these fairly small because you want the potatoes to kind of roughly break up, not fall apart, but just the edges of them to break off a little bit in the cooking process because that's going to naturally thicken the soup a little bit. So in goes our potatoes. And we're putting in thyme. So we can just pop the thyme in. These are the kind of the softer leaves of the thyme. So it's okay if a few of the little stems go in as well. Beautiful. Okay. Next, we need water and we get our temperature up because we need to cook out the spuds. And a little bit of salt and pepper. Bring this to the boil and it'll take about 10 minutes for it to simmer. You'll see I haven't got too much liquid in there. I've just covered the potatoes enough because we've got more liquid coming in the form of the milk when we're smoking the haddock. While the potatoes are cooking, we can crack on with preparing the fish. So this here is our smoked haddock, and in that goes. And you know, years ago, of course, they always smoked the fish to preserve it for longer. Here we use smoked haddock a lot to make fish pies and the likes. It gives that lovely depth of flavour. And I usually mix it then with some prawns and a little bit of cod. So it's a very versatile fish. So when we're cooking the haddock, it's not water, it's full fat milk. And I'm going to say it now in case I forget to say it later. We do not discard this milk later. This is very important because the milk is part of the soup. As we cook the fish, the flavour is going to penetrate the milk and that forms the flavouring of the soup. We get a little bit of bay from the garden and in that goes. And we just leave that to come to the boil and then to simmer. We want the fish to be flaky. So it'll take, I'd say, a good 10 to 15 minutes. And our potatoes have just come to the boil, so I can turn the temperature down on that. So while all the magic is happening here, I can clean up a little bit. Okay, I'm between two pots here. Let's see, potatoes. Just done, the knife is going into them. They're looking good and the edges are breaking down a little bit on them. So I'm really happy with that because that's going to help thicken our Cullen skink. Now over here, we better get this fish off. It's bubbling up a little bit. So we want to lift out our smoked haddock. There we go. We want to save all the cooking liquor we can. Oh, it smells divine. It's quite a distinctive aroma. But it's absolutely packed with flavour and it really is the base for this soup. And that's why the cooking liquid is so important because the flavour from the fish has now penetrated the milk and that's going to go back into our soup. Now you should strain it at this point. There we go. Beautiful. Let's give it a stir. Bring it back up to the boil. Now we need to just break up our fish. And for that, I have 2 forks. You want good, big, hearty pieces of fish. This is real stick to your ribs kind of food. Look at how it's just flaking apart. I'm just giving it a helping hand, that's all I'm doing. Look for bones if you see any bones. Lift them out at this stage. And there we have a couple. We don't want that in our soup. Of course, you can always buy your fish deboned as well, so make it easy for yourself. Okay, now our fish goes back in here. And you just simmer for maybe another couple of minutes, just for the flavour to come together. Next, let's chop a little bit of parsley. Beautiful. The parsley is going to bring a nice bit of freshness to it and also the flecks of green. It's going to look really nice colour-wise. Right, now my job is to check for seasoning. So we need a spoon and we'll just check for flavour because maybe we need an extra bit of salt or pepper, let's see. No, it does need an extra little bit of salt. So I'm putting in 2 pinches of salt and just the tiniest pinch of pepper. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. It just reminds me so much of walking along the windswept coast of Scotland. Beautiful. We're ready to serve up. This is it. This is it, the most comforting of food. Now let's get a bit of the broth on. This really is the perfect way to experience the heart of Scotland from your own kitchen. Let's garnish with a little bit of chive. And we'll go with some borage flowers as well. bring that kind of beautiful colour into it. And that is our Cullen Skink, but we are not finished yet. We have to have a wee dram with this. And the dram that I have chosen is, of course, a Scotch whisky. This is a beautiful Scotch. This is Glenmorangie from the Highlands of Scotland. It's 12 years old, single malt Scotch, about 43%, and it's matured in American bourbon barrels. So it's got that lovely oakiness coming through in it. Now, I've chosen to go with the Cullen Skink because I believe the smokiness of the haddock will work really well with that oakiness from the barrels. So, to savour it, pour into your glass. Now, what you can do is you can open up the flavour a little bit more by putting water in. But actually, to be honest, I think neat is good too. Let's just check it now. Oh my goodness. It smells of orange peel, a tiny hint, I would say, of coconut. It's definitely citrusy. It smells like a summer's day in the Highlands, I can tell you. Let's taste it now. It's warm, it's got lovely tones in it. You can taste the orange, but it's mellow. It's got a lovely honey flavour to it. It's a lovely soft whisky. This is going to work incredibly well with the Cullen Skink. Now, all I need to say to you is sláinte from Ireland and with our Cullen Skink. And thank you very much for joining us on Flavours of the World. See you next time.